everybody out there on the YouTube network, and welcome to the Remote Chiefs channel. Today, I would like to show you the differences between the ST10 and the ST10 Plus. I have both right here in front of me to show you, and I'd like to do an in-depth analysis of each and let you know as much as I can and show you the differences between them. Let's get into it. Thanks for watching. So here we go. We have the ST10 Plus on the right and the ST10 on the left. Check it out. I'm going to look through the instruction manual. It's basically just like the ST10 instruction manual, no different if you've had one. Charge the batteries, where the different settings are, all the buttons, what the buttons do, taking photos, taking video, you know, how to tilt the camera with the tilt. Basically pretty basic. Binding the camera in case somehow you get disconnected and you got to bind. That's basically it. Yuneec.com. Check it out. So the ST10 Plus. Let's get into it. Let's turn on these bad boys. Well, first we'll put them side by side and give them a nice look and see what is really different here. First thing you're going to notice is the screen size. Here we're going to do a nice diagonal. We have about a 4.5 inch screen. Well, I'd say a 4.4 almost, right? A little under. And now look, boom, that's what we were. We're going to go all the way out another inch to the screen. We're going to get a lot more screen for our money. It's going to be banging. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. You should be excited. Who doesn't want to see more of their HD beautiful video while you're flying your drone? I do. I think it's great. So that's the measurement, so you can definitely see it's a big difference. Huge difference. Pull this off so you can see what's going on. Another thing right off the bat, you're going to see these are basically the same. And I always thought in my last ST10 that this was a little weird because it was slanted, and I thought, oh, I got one that was just slanted, and you can kind of give it a little twist. But here again, I see on this one, you can give it the same little twist, and it's a little slanted. So that just must be how they come. So that's just how they make them. On the ST10 Plus, you're going to see this button is far more recessed. You can see that. It's in there. Like I can't just brush by it. I'd have to press. And even then when you're pressing, you can't really press it. You got to press down and hold it a little longer. Here you can see it, and it feels just like these buttons. So if you weren't looking, you went like this and that, it's the same. Now this one is not the same button. You can feel it's completely different. So, I don't know. They changed that. I guess they don't want anyone touching that start-stop button. I haven't heard any stories about it. Maybe there have been a few. But if you did it in mid-flight, it would be horrible. Damn. Let's turn these puppies on. Fire them up. That just vibrated. So first thing I noticed, the ST10 Plus vibrated the second I turned it on. The ST10 did not. Got the same sound out of both. Basically the similar startup time. Get rid of that, we're not going to connect. Get rid of that, we're not going to connect. So check it out. Basically everything is still the same on the screen. You have your mode, you have your GPS, you have your satellite, you have your position, your longitude and your latitude. You have your volts, you have, you know, your altitude, your speed, and your distance from the transmitter. You know, the same model select. Same things are going on, you pick. It's basically the same. Even deep in the controller, flight settings. If you want to see other stuff like the hardware monitor, check that out. The hardware monitor, well, basically pretty much the same. You know, they're ready to go. So it's not much different. Back is the same. The battery is exactly the same. There's no difference in the batteries. When you double tap the screen, you get it big. Double tap, you get it big. And I mean, you're just getting so much more screen here. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. You're getting more screen. I also believe the ST10 Plus is going to vibrate. When the battery is low on the drone, you're going to get more vibrating on the ST10 Plus. That ST10 did not vibrate. Another thing you're going to notice here is if I take this one away completely and I let this one hang out, put it to my ear, I hear it going, doing its thing, grinding around. But when I have this one here, I can barely hear it. No sound. So the ST10 is louder than the ST10 Plus. They did something inside here to make it not as loud. I don't even hear it anymore. It doesn't even make a sound. It's a nice little quiet hum. It's a quiet hum you can barely hear. Where this was a loud, you can hear this. And it even kind of moves the transmitter a little more. I can feel that mechanism moving a little more, you know. Let's look at the back. The back is exactly the same. Turn them around. This is what you're gonna notice. I'm not sure what the difference is here, but there's a light blinking really bright right here. And there's no light blinking really bright right there, you know. And I'm pretty sure that's the same on all ST10 Pluses. Another thing you're going to notice about them is when you do this here. This is a little more of a fluid, like sliding kind of nice fluid motion. Like it had a little oil in there and it just slides nice. Whereas on the ST10, it's really hard to push. And there's a lot of it's like traction. There's a lot of traction against your finger. I think I kind of like this better because you move as you go, a little bit by little bit by little bit. It's easier to adjust tiny little bits. I feel like now on the Plus, it's going to be a little harder for me to get the little sections because it can slide past it. See, it's a lot more slidey than the first one. To be honest, I like this stiff because look, I can tap that just tiny bit, tiny bit, tiny bit, tiny bit, tiny bit. Here, if I just do a tiny bit, I'm moving so tiny bit. You can still achieve the tiny bit pushes, but it's just not the same tightness. This again is the same, the rabbit. But this isn't as important because it's not the camera that you're moving, it's just the level of speed, and usually you either want to be slower or faster in the middle, and these tiny little adjustments are not huge, so again, back here on this one, it bites a little more. You can feel more of a pull, there's more traction. So they took that away, they made these a little more fluid. They decided to make these more fluid. And that's the same, I believe. Here's another ST10 Plus, and I'm just checking, and that's the same, you know, exactly the same. So there you have it, the ST10 and the ST10 Plus. Alright, that's a recap. I appreciate you staying for the whole video. That's awesome. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. We went over the ST10 and the ST10 Plus. And by the way, big shout out to Ryan at Yuneec. Ryan Kephart at Yuneec. He's the best. I may or may not have a little issue with my ST10. We went over it, and no questions asked. I needed to fly that weekend. He shipped me out an ST10 Plus ready to go. 2-day air, no questions asked. Thank you so much, Ryan over at Yuneec. That's why you pick a company like Yuneec with the best customer service out there. And again, thank you so much for watching. You remember, you're with the Chief, and the Chief abides.